Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Yes, we are going to talk about Pakistan. Yes, we are going to talk about India, but we are going to talk about it for different reasons, not for the reason you thought we were going to talk about. Yes, a match between Pakistan and India would be interesting, and a lot of us would probably sit and watch it, and why not? It is entertainment. But today we are going to talk about something else. What is it, Sashwath?
Uh, Today we're talking about trade between Pakistan and India. We're going to look at a positive aspect or a possible positive aspect between the two and figured why not? Because this world might need a little more hope and
Yes, we definitely need hope, man.
yeah.
This world needs spark somewhere in any dark corner, a shed of light. I would hold on to that light, even if it seems remote. I would hold on to it.
Yeah. So uh, so we're going to be talking on the topic of trade between Pakistan and India. And this is a topic which is based upon geopolitical events which had occurred in 2019 with Pakistan cutting off trade ties with India and saying that until policies are reversed, Pakistan would not be engaging in trade with India. And they went cold turkey on us. And India didn't seem very keen on getting them back either. And that's where it stands currently. But Pakistan seems to be in deep trouble with having to resort from between the IMF and other global organizations and heavily relying on China for trade and also heavily relying on China for aid. So this seems to be a very tricky situation for both Pakistan and India, given that it's our neighbor, given that Pakistan is our neighbor and a nuclear power. It may be in our best interest to maintain amicable ties with them. And a part of this comes with opening up trade or trying to open up trade with Pakistan, given their newfound interest in reopening trade with India. And this is something the finance minister of Pakistan had recently talked about in depth, saying that he would want to look at reopening trade with India. So this is something which is an interesting topic because in this case, Pakistan ends up needing India more than we do them, because we have trade with other huge countries across the globe and we're not really missing Pakistan as a trade partner. But the question is Pakistan missing us as its trade partner? And the answer is yes. So Pakistan, as I said before, has been looking for infusions of cash into the economy. It had recently been handed a bailout by the IMF for $3 billion. And reopening trade with India could lead to as much as $25 billion being pumped into the economy. And every single dollar here counts. And it is within the best interest of Pakistan to reopen trade because this would be a huge relief to the economy in trying to restore macroeconomic stability within the economy. And restoring macroeconomic stability, as we've seen historically, is a very desirable thing to do when you're trying to run a country. Now, the reason why India is maybe not so keen on it is because there is a sort of idea that maybe reopening trade with Pakistan might lead to your own domestic producers being put out of business. That is a possible concern. But given the size of trade with Pakistan, it doesn't seem to be that much of a problem. But that is something we'll have to end up seeing after trade reopens, because there's this idea of comparative advantage where Pakistan produces things which it has an advantage in producing compared to India. And this may be something we're opening ourselves up to by opening up trade with Pakistan. So there's a concern there. However, it is in our best interest to do so because we want to maintain amicable relationships with the neighboring countries we have. And a part of that is opening up trade with them. And by opening up trade, we'll end up giving Pakistan the relief which it needs. And by giving Pakistan the relief it needs, we might be able to work on burying the hatchet which has been tormenting our relationship with Pakistan and our other neighboring countries as well. And given that we are wary of China's expansion and China's creation of its sphere of influence all around us, it may also do us good to have friendly ties with some of the countries which China has been trying to bring into its ambit of influence. So, given all these things, and given that economic turmoil breeds violence and insurgency as well as terrorism, it also, from a socio political angle, makes sense for us to reopen trade because through the economic relief which we provide to Pakistan, we may be avoiding a greater problem down the road, given that it is a nuclear nation and given that economic instability breeds political turmoil. And that is something we want to avoid with a nuclear neighbor. So this is what a lot of articles and a lot of commentators have been saying, especially on the Bloomberg with Mihir Sharma talking about this. What do you think about this?
I agree. In 1970, the funny statistic, even my brother said it in another video, Pakistan's per capita income was twice that of India's. Today, India is 50% higher. So, Pakistan had all the advantages. But this is what it shows when you have a functioning democracy and you have a pluralistic society and you have a liberal thought in mind. It encourages economic growth and it encourages betterment for everybody, society as a whole, pushing the whole country towards the development and uplifting of the poor. So it is something to remember. There is always questions being asked. Is it worth being democratic? Is it worth being pluralistic? Even in US, for example, it's very strange to hear Trump supporters, one of the bastions of democracy, saying it is good if Trump is a dictator. It is good. This country needs a dictator. Watching Americans from all kinds of walks of life who are supporting Trump coming out and saying these bizarre things, and they're ready to say Trump is a defender of the Constitution. In the same breath, they say he should become a dictator. Just strange times we live in. And the Polish Prime Minister coming out in Europe saying that Europe is back at 1945, that the clocks have turned back. So far, they're in the brink of an all-out war across Europe. The way it's expanding, the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, the expansion of that crisis might lead into a further fragmentation of Europe and claw back all the progress that was made through negotiations, through discussions, through debates. Everything went out the window. So it is an opportune moment for Pakistan. They have a very fragile government right now, and they had a very tough election, and they managed to stitch together a coalition which is willing to work together. And the Sharifs, who are now the Prime Minister, office holders of Pakistan, have a special relationship with our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. And if all goes according to the polls right now, the way it stands, it does look like Modi will get another term. And it will be a great opportunity for Pakistan and India, Modi especially when he's looking at his term, to leave a legacy behind, to be something, to be his masterpiece. Might be willing, the man who actually brings peace between Pakistan and India, and be able to forge, because the main issue was Kashmir. And after what happened in 2019, that's when the ties broke down. But Pakistan has come around now and realized Kashmir, as far as it's concerned, should be an internal matter for India because they have bigger problems within their own country to solve.
They don't have the economic capital to make it an issue anymore.
Yes, that has left them. And that's what happens when you don't have a functioning democracy. And Pakistan, in the state it's in, it does require India. And as far as what Sashwath said about having a fallout on our economy, I don't think it will be as severe as some of you imagine it to be. Because we're already doing this with Sri Lanka. Me and Anand or Sashwath had spoken about in a few videos back about how the RBI set up a special channel to use the Indian rupee as a trading currency between Sri Lanka and India, reducing the requirement for Sri Lanka to use its foreign reserves to trade with India and help Indian companies to open businesses there. Something similar can be done with Pakistan too. And there is appetite on both sides of the borders, in the business community at least, to re-engage in trade and open borders and to do business with each other. And the best ways in history, if you see, to build peace and lasting peace, it is through collaborative economic effort. Even the Palestinian-Israeli conflict can be resolved in an amicable way if the Israelis are allowing the Palestinian people to have economic freedom and development in their strips of land. This whole conflict could have been less severe or even averted if the Israelis had allowed development and given equal opportunities for Palestinians to work and earn a living and to live with dignity. End of the day, everybody wants to earn and take care of their family first. Going to war and killing each other is everyone's last choice. But push comes to shove, it does happen. So this is where it makes sense. And I agree with that article in Bloomberg, which Sashwath was quoting, that this is a great opportunity for Pakistan and India to forge peace. And it's for our own self-interest. If you want to prevent another parliament attack or a Mumbai attack and the incursions which happen in Kashmir, we want to remove all this, the best way to do it is through economic upliftment of Pakistan. And if Pakistanis economically improve and they start leading better lives, they themselves will not see any reason to go down the road of extremism or militarism. And I think this is the way to go. What do you think, Shashwath?
Yeah, you want to create vested interests within those countries and have those countries create vested interests within yours, where you basically want them to be invested in your progress because then you can buy more of their goods, and you are invested in their progress because their development means they can buy more goods from you, goods and services. And free trade, at least from an economic standpoint, I don't want to get into the nitty gritties of it, but take my word for it, free trade ends up benefiting both parties generally because you both get goods and services which you wanted to consume, and the other party gets the money behind the goods and services which they wanted to sell for money. So both parties leave with things which they wanted to get. So this is not something which is a terrible idea. It's not something which should be used as a fear-mongering chip, saying that if trade happens, then this will happen, that will happen. It need not be that way. It simply is an economic and political decision where you want to create amicable ties with your neighbors. And I'm of the opinion that we could do with a lot more friends across the board than enemies.
I agree. But the funny thing is, eventually we will reach there. The question is, do we decide to go the easy way and reach there, or go the hard way and reach there? Eventually, everybody learns to become friends and everybody learns to get along. You know, brothers do and siblings do fight and quarrel, and sometimes they beat each other and they go black and blue. But then they realize they're all part of the same family and they mend fences. I just hope we don't need to beat each other black and blue before we start deciding to mend fences.
Well, we have an opportunity to avoid the...
Hey, we do.
Yeah.
I agree on that. And where I stand from and my age and my generation, our time is quickly closing to the second half of our lifespan. I hope your generation, the younger generation, who are going to be torchbearers, have a better role at this than we did. Anyway, with that positive mindset, I think we can conclude this video. A Pakistan-India match would be interesting to watch again, no matter where it's played. Thanks for watching the videos, guys, and we'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.